it is critical that we gain the support, understanding, and cooperation of strategic stakeholders in the state. It is also important to build a consensus between strategic security stakeholders and the security agencies on both preventive actions and how to respond to crime situations. It is my candid hope that this summit will recommend practical steps to be taken to achieve all this. Your input, experiences, and suggestions are really important to both achieving the objectives of this security at this summit and to improving our internal security management system generally. Before I end this address, I would like to thank the Inspector General of Police and all members of the Secretariat once again for finding time to grace this occasion. I also thank the Commissioner of Police from the State Police Command, the Commander 301 Artillery Regiment, the Director State Security Service, and all heads of security formations and units in Gombe State for their continued support and good work to the people of Gombe State. This summit would not have been possible without the technical support of the Counter-Fraud Center under the leadership of retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zubairu Mu'az Ubandoma. Thank the IG retired and his center for their relentless support and strategic partnership with the government of Gombe State and the people of Gombe State in general. As an electoral son of the soil, we are expecting nothing less from him. To all invited guests, resource persons, stakeholders, and other participants, I thank you all, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for accepting our invitation and for safe return to your homes after the summit. On this note, it is my honor to declare this summit open to the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Long live Gombe State, long live the Federal Republic. Zan ɗauki wannan dama saboda ana gudanar da wannan taro kai tsaye a gidajen rediyo da ma talabijin na ƙasa baki ɗaya, saboda ka mutanenmu da suke gefe ko suke waje wanda akasari ba sa majin turanci su ba su fahimci me muke yi. Bayan godiya da Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ina farin cikin marabtan musamman bakinmu da suka zo da kuma dukkan al'umma musamman sarakuna iyayen ƙasa da shugabanni na hukumomin tsaro wanda suke nan da wanda suka zo da sauran jama'a zuwa ga wannan taro wanda shine na farko da muka yi shi musamman domin mu yi tattali mu tanadi zaman lafiya da muke da shi da kuma kyautata tsaro na tsakani wanda ba taɓa yin irin wannan a nan jihar ba sai a yau. Kuma muna godiya da shi babban inspector na 'yan sanda na ƙasa gabaki ɗaya, inspector general na 'yan sanda Usman Baba Alkali, da ya ansa wannan gayyata kuma ya baro duk hidindimin da suke gabansa ya samu zuwa wannan gari mai albarka domin ya taya mu yin wannan taro kuma ya yi nasa jawabi da kansa. Bayan haka kowa ya sani cewa a jihar Gombe idan aka haɗa ta da sauran jihohi a daidai wannan karni da muke ciki tana da kware-kwaren zaman lafiya. Kuma muna gode da Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da ya ba mu fahimta da haɗin kai na sauran al'umma amma musamman na iyayen ƙasa da ake ba da haɗin kai muke kare wannan zaman lafiya da Allah ya ba mu. Sai da zaman lafiya ake iya aikin ci gaba, sai da zaman lafiya ake iya ma'amaloli da za su iya kawo ci gaba ga al'umma, kuma sai da zaman lafiya ne ma dukkan wani harka ta rayuwa za ta gudana. Saboda haka mun gode Allah da muka samu wannan ni'imar taka, amma kuma duk da haka ganin yadda sauran jihohin tarayyar Najeriya na arewaci musamman tun da aka samu kalubale na Boko Haram tun daga shekarar 2010 har zuwa yanzu, daga jihar Borno zuwa jihar Yobe, Adamawa, Bauchi, Taraba da sauran jihohinmu na nan arewa maso gabas an fada cikin wannan kalubale da wannan ibtila'i ya kawo. kuma bayan wannan abun ya ta'azzara da faɗa-faɗa da ake yi tsakanin manoma da makiyaya, wanda shi ma ya ƙara ta'azzara ya kawo ga wannan matsala da yanzu ake fuskanta na 'yan bindiga daɗi da suke ɗaukar mutane, su tsare mutane, su nemi kuɗin mutane, su riƙe mutane a cutar da mutane ba bisa abin da ya kamata ba. Wannan ƙalubale ne babba da yanzu shi ya fi komai damun tarayyar Najeriya. Kuma ganin haka shi ne ya wajaba cewa jihar Bennan mu daɗa tattali, mu riƙe abin da muke da shi, mu kuma haɗa kai da kowa saboda mu gano dabaru da hikimomi da za mu yi wannan abin kare shigo nan. Kuma ko ya shigo Allah ya da shi, Allah ya kore shi ya kasance ba. Kuma Allah ya sa duka sauran wurare ma da suke da wannan kalubale ya kasance an iya cin gaba kamari domin a ci gaba da zaman lafiya a tarayyar Najeriya wanda shi aka samu da shi. Bayan wannan akwai kalubale da muke fuskanta na tsageru da suke nema su tsaita Najeriya, musamman a yamma maso gaba da kuma yamma maso yamma, wanda su ma biyu nan ne tattalin arzikin ƙasa kusan wanda muka dogara da kai a shi na harkar mai nan yake. Sannan kuma an fada cikin fitina saboda kowanne sana'ar ba ta yi ba. Yawan kai hari da ake mutanenmu na arewaci, musamman a kudu maso gabas, ƙasashen jihohin yamurai, abun ba kyau. Ana zanne sai ka je an kashe waɗannan yau, ko wancan sati an ce an kashe mutum wajen 7 ba bisa hakinsu ba bisa wani dalili ba. To zamantakewa mutane da suke kawo kansu mai kyau. Saboda haka muna roƙon al'umma da a fahimci halin da ake cikin nan. Ba wanda zai so a matsayinsa yana shugaba, wanda ta nama kuma jami'in tsaro a ce an waye gari a area da yake an samu tashin hankalin da har aka rasa rayuka ko aka samu wata fitina. To duk da sauki da jihar wanda muke da shi a yanzu, wasu daga cikinmu wanda munanan iri ne suna nema su kawo irin wannan damuwa, kamar ko ta fuskan kalare ko kuma ta fuskan ma wannan ɗaukan mutane da ake dan fansa da kuɗi, shi ma ana nema a shigo mana ana. To ya wata a kanmu, musamman mutanen da muke cikin wannan aikin, daga sarakunanmu zuwa jami'an tsaro zuwa ma'aikatan gwamnati zuwa dukkan wasu shugabanni, mu yi duk abin da za mu kiyaye mu samu mu dai kan mu tsira da lafiyar da muke tare da ita, ko mu aika ma sakonni na a samu zaman lafiya a sauran jihohi. Domin in ba a zanna lafiya a Bauchi ba, misali wanda ya yi yau rigima sa a galeri sai an kota cikin akko wanda muka haɗa iya, ko kuma wanda yake shango a afka masa a shiga ko daga Taraba ko shi daga shango a shiga Taraba. Muna da iyaka, jihar Gombe tana tsakiyar arewa maso gabas ne, muna da iyaka da dukkan jihohinmu na arewa maso gabas. Saboda haka ya wajaba a inda muke da kwanar zaman lafiya mu yi ya kokarinmu. Kuma gwamnoninmu na jihohin arewa maso gabas muna zama a kowane watanni 3, ina da kwanan nan za mu sake zama a Ramford. Kullum muka yi zama muna sa wakilan jami'an tsaro domin su ma su kawo nasu hikimomi da dabaru, kuma su kawo bayanin halin da ake ciki domin mu samu mu tsare wannan zaman lafiya a zanna lafiya a ƙasa. Ga waɗanda suke kawo matsaloli saboda ra'ayi ko na siyasa, sani cewa ita siyasa ma sai da zaman lafiya za a yi. Kuma rashin zaman lafiyar nan ya sa kowa dole ya shiga cikin damuwa, kuma mu zanna a cikin taitayen mu riƙe hankalin mu a ciki. In ba a zaman lafiya ba za ka yi gwamna ba, in ba zaman lafiya ba za ka yi minista ba za ka yi shugaban ƙasan ba. Wasu gurare ko bayan da shugaban ƙasa ya bar Sri Lanka garin su ƙasarsu ya gudu wata ƙasa don ya nema kansu zaman lafiya. Saboda haka ya yarda da kamu mu yi iya kokarin da zamu domin mu samu zaman lafiya, mu kuma kiyaye zaman lafiya, ko dan al'umma mu za ta ci gaba kuma ita ma ta dole a cikin zaman lafiya. Muna fata wannan taro da za a yi zai ba da kofofi da za a samu dabaru da hikimomi da za mu samu dorewar zaman lafiya a jihar Gombe, ganin kwarewa da kuma shahara da mutanen da suka amsa wannan gayyata suke da shi, da hikimomi da dabaru waɗanda yan an tattauna su tabbas za mu samu sauki. Kuma insha Allah ina tabbatar da cewa gwamnati kamar yadda muka saba za mu ba da haɗin kai domin a samu zaman lafiya mu kuma kiyaye zaman lafiya. A sakamakon haka shi inspector general zai nasa jawabi ko bayan ya yi da jawabinsa in mun fita zai kaddamar da wani shiri da muka yi na musamman wanda za mu tabbatar da cewa musamman harka ta kalari a cikin Gombe da kuma kewaye da kuma ƙananan hukumomi an samu dabaru daga tsakanin jami'an tsaro zuwa ɗan vigilante zuwa maharba zuwa wannan yan gwamnati da muka ɗauka mun yi dabaru da mu yanzu a kanmu za mu tsore da zaman lafiya kuma yan kattafa ne da harkoci a sake koma hannu da dangana ko kwanan nan an samu matsaloli a unguwar Nasarawa karfe 7 tana yi shikenan yara ƙanana ƴaƴanmu ne da jikoki sai su fito su tare su hana wani harka guda kuma su sare-sare suna ɗebe dukiyar mutane su wani ya kashe wani shikenan sai a ce an je ɗaukan fansa a wani guri. To in an samu haka an samu kofar da waɗannan 'yan ta'adda su ma kuma za su shigo gurin. Saboda haka wannan shiri da muka yi zai maganin kowa. Ga kuma duk taimakon da gwamnati ya kamata ta bayar insha Allah. Za mu domin a yi zaman lafiya. Allah ko ba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ya ba mu zaman lafiya. Allah ya ba mu iko gudanar da wannan taro. Sannan kuma muna godiya da musamman shi babban shugaban 'yan sanda na tarayya wanda ya zo ta musamman kuma muna masa albishir da cewa wannan jiha tana cikin jihohin da za ta ba ta haɗin kai. Shi mutumin Yobe ne kuma ya san Gombe fiye da shekaru 40 da suka wuce yana ma zuwa Gombe ya san me yake wakana daidai gwargwado yanzu kuma ba a duk kwanan duniya yana sanin rikodin me yake gudana a ko'ina ba a tarayyar Najeriya saboda haka duk da ba da hikimomi muna
You are watching live the first Gombe State Peace and Security Summit 2022. The chief host, Governor Muhammad Ino Yahaya, just declared the summit open. And next is the Inspector General of Police, who is a special guest of honor. IGP Alkali Baba Usman, he's coming on stage to deliver the keynote address.
Ladies and gentlemen, because of our time, let me give the audience of the governor to mention those who are encouraged of the special of place. Actually, have come with a very big entourage of Abuja to raise this occasion. And to prepare and to deliver the keynote address. And now, on the entourage of the special of place, Allah Assalam, Gashash, all the way from Abuja, please, and we are checking. We have to be as well as the matter of this. Just the English of Abuja and us. We have the ACA, it's also people of And of course, I speak for the police, I speak for the city and manage the image of the Nigerian police force. I want to say that this is my first time in COVID, and I really realized what I've seen. You know, while I saw the beautiful I welcome me to go to state. I say, welcome, Excellency, for giving your people the best you can. So they are given to listen to someone who is back of you, someone who is a catalyst to change and for community to listen. Every time of community, I think it's accessible, intelligent, proactive, and very, very handsome. I think this is the Young State, and this time the Nigerian was a state of security in 1980. That time is not really going to find from Nigerian University. And later, as master's degree in public administration from University of Abuja. He had been on the field as a young officer after his commission. He was police general that I was 20 in Borno at the United States of his career. And that's why he has people schools running his name. He had been an army officer in divisional command officer, divisional police officer in Yamato, in Kariwa, in Jamaica, Southern divisions, in Itoe, Borno, and Adamawa State. As I was going to the NTA today has a record of someone who has worked with producers of the country. In the north, this time of the government, like I said, was Uyo in this state, Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa. In the north, the NTA was in Kabaka, was 12 in Kaduna. And of course, in the North Central, he was there commander in the city of Metropolis. The Deputy Commissioner of Police is there in First CID in the city command. He became Commissioner of Police in the city command. And later, the IIJ in charge of support. So the first, the NTA was Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of PSP. And of course, to the South Police, area commander of the border camp all in the state. He was currently in charge of maritime, people who are in charge of policing our waterways. So the NTA does not have not only Nigerian for policing the inland, they have Nigerian for policing the waterways. That is the first problem. The NTA was one time the Commissioner of Police in charge of Delta State Command, and later the AIG in charge of SOFA, as it was then comprised of Delta, Edo, and Bayelsa State Command. It's going to be interesting again to know that story. And the NTA in charge of the the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the federal operations of the Nigerian police force. And of course, it became one of the most strongest officers of the Nigerian police force that inspired we. He was appointed as the first secretary of the Nigerian Police Force and member of the Force Management Team. Let me inform you, Excellency, it's not a necessity that the proposal draft of PIG, he was in charge of the Department of Finance and Administration assisting the agenda. And later was posted to be empty. Your Excellency, 3 years attention. Not of April 2021. The long term of God. Time this month, we are going as 24th in our Institute General of Police on February of this year. We are truly for him to become the Sergeant of Police today was a response to something and I have listened through the ranks to be very easy. He has attended many courses locally and international, but the major one is with the federal authorities. So,
Thank you, the PRO and the band. Your Excellency, the Governor of the state, the jewel in Governor Muhammad Yahya. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor from the state, the Honorable Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Chief Judge and Grand Cardinals of the state, the Secretary to the Government of the state, our royal fathers made by the Emir of Gombe, the Royal Highness, Dr. Abuja Gitar, Senior Military Officer, Senior Police Officer, the AIG from South, represented by CP Bauchi, the Commissioner of Police, Bauchi State, Heads of Security Agencies, the DSS, NOTC, the Customs, Immigration, NDLA, and other security and safety agencies that are present here. Very senior taking security challenges in the country. In the identification, analysis, and mitigation of threats, and to apply the communities and strategic stakeholders have critical roles to play. Against this backdrop, the Nigerian Police Force under my leadership considers it imperative that community leaders, community-based associations, local community groups, and all citizens are actively engaged towards filling their roles or posts, evolving a common synergy and presenting a common front to contain security challenges that are threatening our common peace, safety, and security. Your Excellency, community engagement like this summit, community engagement like the Security and Peace Summit by the state government falls perfectly within the framework of this policing vision. To this extent, the Nigerian Police Force conveys its full and wholehearted support to the government of Gombe State under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Muhammad Yahya for the vision in convening this strategic summit. It is my expectation that during this 3-day summit, all issues of security importance will be extensively discussed and effective strategies to address them identified. In exploring the visual or in exploring the themes of the summit, I would like to call on the research partners and participants to pay utmost attention to matters such as building trust between communities and the police, the role of citizens in providing actionable criminal information, and the strategies for strengthening partnership among various security agencies and the communities we serve. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, crime is dynamic, and addressing it on a sustainable basis requires innovative approaches and the guiding all of components of the society, all of societal efforts. Although Gambia state is one of the states in the Federation with the least incidences of violent crime, the dynamic nature of crime makes it imperative that we continue to partner in evolving strategies that will constantly place us above the criminal element. This is the only pathway towards maintaining sustainable internal security order in the state. We must not keep our hands and lay our hands and say Gambia is the least in crime and continue sleeping. We must also stand up and address the issue frontally so that we continue remaining the state with the least crime, not only in the northeast but in the entire country. And appreciating Your Excellency for the initiative of this summit, I wish to encourage all stakeholders to build on the outcome of this engagement in the overriding security interest of the state. In line with this, it is my expectation we will be adhering with the detailed outcome of this summit for the purpose of integrating them into our own policing strategy, as I have no doubt that they will be informed enough to complement our current strategy. On this note, I wish to sincerely appreciate the invaluable support of His Excellency to the Nigerian Police Force and all other security agencies over the years. This is further evident by the Excellency's initiative to organize this summit as well as the upcoming launch of the special state security operation and the efforts which I understand will go quickly after this event. I would also like to thank the Counter-Drug Center, and the local organizing committee of this event for their diligence and coordination, which are manifested in this following well-attended and highly successful center. To our partners and all strategic stakeholders and the research partners here present, thank you for your sacrifice and commitment to the peace and security of the state, in particular in our beloved country, Ghana. On this note, I convey my good wish to Your Excellency and the participants of this well-thought-out the State Security and Peace Summit. I wish you a fruitful engagement and anticipate that the outcome of the summit will be a model that will be implemented towards changing the peace and security narrative in Gombe State and the nation at large. May Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to protect and bless Your Excellency, the people of Gombe State and our Abuja country. Thank you for your rapt attention.
Governor of the state, our special guest of honor, the General of Police, Secretary General Police Al-Kali Usman, the Emir of Bombay, our brothers here, very few officers from the agency, especially invited guests, permit me to lead on the already established protocol. I am representing the General Officer commanding 3 Division Nigerian Army, who also happens to be Commander of the State Cabinet, in the person of Major General I.S. Ali, who is not here due to operational exigencies. So I'm just a mouthpiece for today. I give you one greeting of the platform, even though we know that we're in a school. I'm just going to the first which is to have a professional development within enjoying in defense of Nigeria. Though it is important for both community and non-community members to address any security issues. And all encompassing all society, approach to confront the security challenges bedeviling our nation. To this end, I wish to congratulate the governor of the state, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, for convening the security center to occur at no time. It is now the end of the Senate. The community will go elaborate the Commission on Security Issues in Gombe State, and who knows who will be a role model to get nationwide. I wish you a fruitful innovation at the Senate. Thank you very much.
Next, His Excellency, the Governor of Gombe State, Nigerian Gombe. Deputy Governor of Manasa, Speaker of the General Assembly, Chief Judge Grand Kadi, our visitor, Inspector of Police, Usman Kadi, DIVs, AIVs, CPs, other head of security agencies, honorable commissioners and commanders, MS and chiefs, all distinguished invited guests, Assalamu alaikum. It is my great pleasure to welcome all combined guests to the first Gombe State Peace and Security Summit, bringing in stakeholders from within and outside Gombe State in order to brainstorm on the various security challenges facing our state and develop appropriate strategy to confront them. Gombe State occupies a strategic position at the center of the Northeast. To its credit, Gombe has remained peaceful. We are able to achieve that because of a culture of tolerance and peaceful coexistence between various tribal and religious groups. One has become a model of inter-ethnic harmony in Nigeria. I'm glad that the summit is taking a holistic approach to peace and security within various sections around ethnic and religious harmony. Drug abuse, youth forgiveness, community policing, local intelligence, professional leaders, and threat-based organizing as well as promote peace and security in promoting economic and social development. I'm also impressed by the result of the summit, covering across the professional discipline and social sectors. I'm having the vision to organize this summit. For the past 3 years, we have demonstrated leadership, encouraged the responding to security challenge through timely intervention and engagement of local stakeholders in the conflict resolution in our community. These are addition to common development projects executed across all corners and climes of our state. Our man, the federal office was elected and review the police force. Listening to his matter, the peace and stability to our country, is medium to pay tribute to the members of our armed forces, the military, the police, the civil defense, and even local civil groups were paying the highest person in order to effect peace and security in our community. We always have our highest respect and prayers. Our people participate in this summit and continue giving government the right operation to maintain peace, security. After that, this summit will develop beyond the state and state policy decision as security response across the country. Our country continues to face various security challenges to help our to put all hands on deck to ensure peace and stability in Nigeria. I wish all participants for security integration. I pray may Allah be our peace and all the other peace and stability to our country at large.
Instructed to make this announcement that there will be a special banner for the visiting IGP, in honor of the visiting IGP, staged by His Royal Highness the Emir of Gombe and the Imam's Palace in Gombe at 5 p.m. today. 5 p.m. today, special banner in honor of the IGP. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency the Governor, Your Excellency the Chief Governor, Right Honorable Speaker, the Chief Judge of Gombe State, IGP, distinguished wives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the opening session of this one important peace and security summit 2022 in Gombe. Next, after this, after the national anthem, we are of Gombe State. But we want to request that we remain seated here. His Excellency, company of the IGP, the Deputy Governor, the Emir of Gombe, the Head of Security Agency, the Right Honorable Speaker, the SNG, and some key other officials that are going to accompany His Excellency to perform.
After the opening ceremony, attention is now shifting to the inauguration of the special security vehicles procured by the Gombe State government for the enhancement of security country as a whole. In a while, the dignitaries will be moving to where the vehicles are stationed for commissioning. The vehicles are for special purpose tagged Operation Hatara, which means cautious security and surveillance. The commissioning is to be performed by the IGP, Alkali Baba Usman.
Man, naturally, is created with lots of ego. Ego to propel him to rise, move, push, and succeed. That is a normal situation. Lots of times, this ego is found missing in the right dose, giving man an overrated or low value, self-esteem. How can we keep it in the right order? How does it affect our daily lives? Can we regroom it where altered? Join us for answers on Wednesday, 10th of August, 2022 at 9 a.m.
Hello and welcome to Issues of the Moment. In Africa, long-range ground transport is a major route for the spread of HIV. Drivers and their assistants can spend days at border crossings waiting to clear customs and border formalities. These rest stops and delays provide multiple opportunities for sexual encounters that can transmit HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. Truck drivers, other mobile workers, sex workers, and the people who live along the route are at increased risk for HIV. And this gave birth to the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Organization, ALCO, in 2002 by the heads of states of Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, and Benin to extend HIV intervention to about 30 million people who live along West Africa's main east-west route, which stretches from Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire to Lagos in Nigeria. The impact of HIV intervention along Abidjan-Lagos corridor will be our focus today on Issues of the Moment. My name is
without providing encouragement and acknowledgement. First, I want to acknowledge its transparency in its work and calling out even its own. Very few professional associations that do that. The meeting a few days ago in my office, professional association was visiting. And after they made their representations, I had to say to them that it seems to me that your association is only for the protection of members of your association. They had a long list of complaints about how the unregulated people or a different association was making the marketplace very difficult, and how businesses were not taking enough of them, and how their association and us must make sure that we stop others so that they can thrive. And I said, you've come to a competition regulator to assist you in creating a cartel. You want to exclude others so that you can thrive. But listening to Koren today, what I hear is a regulatory authority that is concerned with regulating its own for the purpose of society. You should congratulate yourself on that. Because from my standpoint, where I engage with many, this is unusual. And to be able to conduct an investigation about what potentially could have gone wrong and timely conclude that investigation and publish the outcome of the investigation is something that is commendable. Mr. President, thank you very much. Because at the end of the day, consequence is the greatest modifier of human behavior. Where there are no consequences, people anywhere in the world, no matter the pigmentation of their skin, will behave anyhow and get away with anything they can get away with. And I can tell that Koren is interested in consequence. Or else, why would you be thinking of codes of standard? Why would you be thinking of regulations? Why would you be thinking of domesticating them? And as I close, I offer you a channel. I offer you a strategy that imposes stronger consequence for inappropriate conduct. A professional regulator is a peer review mechanism. The outcome of inappropriate conduct by members of that profession is at best denial or suspension of privileges to practice the profession. Now that is a good thing. But there's something that can be added to that that would ultimately protect society. We can expand that accountability framework to include certain levels of liability for that inappropriate conduct. We can expand that accountability framework to include some kind of vicarious liability for those who engage unprofessional or professionally disqualified people. And that is what I offer in the regulatory framework under the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection, giving you a few pieces of the law. But if you work on your standards, we can domesticate those standards by adopting them under the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act. And the penalties associated with violating those standards and regulations at that time will not just be limited to loss of professional practicing privilege. It will lead to liability under law that is beyond losing a license. That, I believe, is where we can hold people accountable. That, I believe, is where we can hold the companies that engage those who are not qualified accountable. That is where I believe that we can cause companies and employers to do the due diligence of ensuring that people who represent themselves as registered engineers are truly registered and currently registered and legitimately entitled to practice. And if you invite us to work with you, we will bring the entire framework. Make sure we do that. And we'll be going straight to the very end of your theme here. And that is how you can use your standards, your regulations, and your codes as a solution to infrastructure failure. And think about it for a minute. If we're able to diminish, even if not prevent, structure failure, just imagine how much better a country Nigeria would be. So I end by, again, commending and congratulating you, but challenging you as well. Thank you very much for inviting me. Good afternoon.
If your hands are not too heavy, please give him a better round of applause. We can make it better and louder. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. In the next 5 minutes, we'll be taking the Committee of Deans of Engineering and Polytechnics and Colleges of Technology awards, and that action is going to be hand-anchored for Abubakar Jumari, MNSC. Please, can we have you on stage very quickly? Please give him a round of applause. The better we cheer him, the quicker he comes up. You have 5 minutes, sir, and your time starts.
Chairman of the occasion, President of Koren, other Koren Council members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, good afternoon. We had the third edition of our national student competition. So we have two categories, the national diploma and the higher national diploma. So may I request the president of Koren to please help us present this award to the winners. So the students, please come forward. Julius Jubal, Rebecca, just come forward. Isodo Uchechukwu, Babalola Job Kainde, Abdurrahman Kabir. So, yes, sir. So the second place winner in the national diploma category for the student project is Julius Jibal. Okay, sir.
Engineer Tatsio Gidari, would you please come and present this? President, Nigerian Society of Engineers. And
this is presented to you as the second place winner, ND category. Title of project, Construction of Aspiration Suction Machine. Institution, Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic, Zaria, Kaduna State. Here is a check of 75,000. And we have 75,000 naira, not dollars. Congratulations.
Allez.